What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tor Crunch, and today we're back for another video. So as you guys can tell from the title and the thumbnail of the video, we're gonna go ahead and do a ranking, or like a tier ranking for characters in the game of Bleach Brave Souls. I've seen this all throughout my timeline on Twitter and stuff, and so I was like, you know what, I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to implement it into the game. It's kind of like a top 10, but it allows me to actually put in a lot more characters, because I'm not gonna go into depth on why I put each character in each ranking. It's just going to be a brief overview. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you guys did by hitting the like button, and I'll definitely continue on with more of these in the future. I'm gonna just do power attribute characters in the game right now, and we're going as far as manga part 1. So about there is where we're gonna have the cutoff. And so yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're gonna start it off with D, and these are all the characters that I felt were deserving of the D rank. I just feel like they're not that great. Hanataro, he's more of just a DR link for other characters in the power attribute. He's not that great. His kit to me isn't excellent or anything, so I feel as if he's more of a D rank character. Omaida is probably one of the worst characters to come out in the last year and a half, just because he doesn't have that great of a kit, and on top of that, his soul trait is just complete garbage, and then I don't think he has the best killers as well. So all in all, Omaida has to be in D rank, and that's like one of the easiest. He was one of the easier ranking characters in here. This Hellverse Ichigo, this one's a little disappointing and sad for me to put in here, just because he's such a cool character. I really like this form of Ichigo, but unfortunately K-Lab did him wrong. His normal attack string is horrible, and he is a normal attack damage character off of stats and skills, so the fact that they did his normal attack string so bad, it's disappointing. By the way, I want to go ahead and clarify this before I even continue on, because it's probably going to get a little controversial after this, but keep in mind, this is my opinion. None of this is factual. This is just my opinion, so keep that in mind. Anyways, moving on, C rank. This is where we go ahead and put in Jackie. Jackie's a good character, don't get me wrong. She has a nice set of strong attacks, not the greatest, but they're nice. But the thing is, there's just better options out there in my opinion, and I don't think she's worthy of being ranked higher. Senkaizen I put in here just because he's really only a link. He's one of the better soul trait links out there, but other than that, he's not going to be a character you're going to be using. This movie Kisuke, I feel like this movie Kisuke is pretty decent, and if he would have had a better soul trait, he could have been moved up to B rank, but because of his soul trait being stamina recovery, he's just not that great. Yin and Yang, these characters were actually pretty decent, but the thing about them is that they weren't really used after the first week of them being released, and I feel as if it's just because we have other options out there. And Yin and Yang, although they're kind of unique and different in the fact that they can be switched out, it just doesn't make them that desirable. They're not the greatest characters. Senna is another one that I'm very sad to put here, just because she's a favorite of mine from the movies, but she's just not that good in the game. I mean, it is that she is a little older, but at the same time, they could have done her a little bit better, because there's characters that came out at the same time that are ranked way higher than her. But yeah, unfortunately she is a C rank. And then of course Nanao, this is Valentine's Nanao from last year, or the Cacao Society Nanao. She's a character that's good as a link, but other than that, when it comes to gameplay, she's not that great. She has that weird hybrid type of stats, and she doesn't have either frenzy or flurry. She does have bombardment, I believe, so she is a decent nuker, but other than that, she's not that great as a character, but she is a decent DR link for the power attribute. Moving on to the B rank, this is where it's gonna get a little more controversial, just because a lot of you guys might be thinking, whoa, why am I seeing some of these characters in there? So again, let me just go through them and explain my reasoning. So Kaien and Rukia are two characters that I was debating on putting up in A rank, but the reason I put them in B rank was because yes, they're good and great for guild quests. If you have them at level 1 as a 6-star and then unlock frenzy and stuff, they're great. Don't get me wrong, they can move and bump up your score from like a 180k to a 182k, and that is crucial and just huge when it comes to guild quests. But other than that, their kits, they're kind of basic. We see them all over the place. It's, you know, with the second moving vortex, the first strong attack being a lunge, either a lunge attack or just a push forward attack, and then the third being a magnet attack. I just don't feel as if they're worthy enough to be ranked higher. They're more just amazing Guild Quest characters, and putting them in B is kind of where I think they deserve to be. Holly Bell, that one was another one that was a little debatable. The reason I didn't put her higher is just because there's better options now, especially with, you know, Kenny. She's a great DR link for him, don't get me wrong. That's why I put her at B. And yeah, Yachiru, she's a character that is decent when it comes to gameplay. A lot of people don't use her anymore. I felt like she was pretty decent when she first came out. Like I did use her a little bit more then. But the thing about her that makes her special is that she's a 14 recharge time link for the power attribute, and the power attribute they are lacking the 14 recharge time. I think her and Rukia are the only ones that have that link. So because of that, she's at B rank. Obviously in the future, if we ever get more of those, she might move down a bit because she's not that great. I mean, that's the reason why she's at B rank. Orihime, she's a good normal attack damage character that came out last year during Swimsuit, and because of that I had to put her in here. She's just a good overall decent autoing character, and she looks thick, but yeah, we're not being biased. She is my favorite waifu, but I think B rank is a good spot for her. Mayuri is probably the best powered. He actually is the best powered DR link because he is 20% DR link. And so because of that, he's in B rank. Gameplay wise, he's all right. He's actually had a few guild quests where he's decent for it. So all in all, his gameplay is actually not that bad, but mainly DR link is what he's used for. And then the last two, which is Riruka and Soifon, both seasonal, one being Christmas form and then one being Halloween. I think both of these characters are actually pretty decent. Riruka has two really, I feel like her kit is actually kind of underrated. She kind of has what Soifon has, where she has 2 lunge attacks as her first and second strong attacks, and I feel like those are kind of good, really good when it comes to just gameplay wise. I feel like it just comes off as smooth, and you don't have to, like, I mean, Vortex strong attacks are great and all, but I feel like if you could just deal the damage and do it fast, that's usually nice as well, and I feel like she gets that done pretty nicely. And on top of that, she's actually been really good for guild quests in the past as a main unit and also as a side character. So all in all, I really like her gameplay, so I had to put her in at B. Soifon, same thing. She's got good gameplay. She's really fast. She's one of the last characters that actually ended up getting long stride with, you know, the flash steps and stuff. So she's really fast, she's got good gameplay, and I think she's worthy of a B rank. And second to last, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the A rank. So here we have it. This one was a little difficult to do just because I had to consider a lot of different things, and so I'll just start off with Jushiro. Jushiro is one of the more recent characters that came out for the attribute, and the reason I didn't put him in like S rank is just because although he's a really good PvE unit, he's great for, you know, dealing damage and whatnot, he's also a great support unit because he is a healer. And he has a good killer and everything, so he's a good character to use. He's gonna be great for, you know, using him as a side character in guild quest. I actually think just recently, like this last week, he was one of the main characters to use in the guild quest, and he was getting like 179, 180k, which is pretty good. So all in all, you know, Jushiro's good. He just doesn't have the S rank potential, right? He's a good A rank. The new Retsu that came out, or that's currently out actually, she's a good normal attack damage unit. She's ranged and she has a good kit overall. There's a few things that I would have liked to have seen, right? For example, more status ailments on her. I think she only inflicts through her 3rd strong attack. But the good thing about her is that she is ranged. She has a really nice normal attack string. She has 80% bruiser, and then she has a barrier that helps her out with just autoing and stuff. So Retsu's actually a pretty damn decent looking power attribute character. Ukiura, this one was one I was struggling because I did this list trying to be as unbiased as possible, and looking at it now, I feel like I put him in a good spot just because he used to be an S rank character. He just has everything you would want in a character, but the thing is, he's a little outdated now. He's not super outdated, but he's just a little outdated, and I think there's better options out there now. For one, he's got weakening through everything, so that makes him really good. He has a pretty decent kit, although his 3rd is a charge up attack, which I would have liked to have seen. Just seeing a full screen would have been nice. And then of course, one of his better things is that he actually has a 2nd strong attack with a boost and a barrier, which is unique in its own right. So I really like Ukiura, and I feel like he's well deserving of an A rank still. Moving on, Tag Team Yamamoto, really good unit. This character has been viable since he came out. His double killer is one of the best in the game. That's what like makes him stand out even to this day. And you know, his kit is really good for, you know, when you're using him in PvE. Not the greatest kit for like guild quests or anything. He's actually pretty bad when it comes to guild quests, but when it comes to you controlling him and, you know, using him in IZ or extreme co-op or whatnot, he's actually really good. So because of that, A rank is where I put him. And now we're moving on to Manga Renji. This one's a character that I feel is kind of underrated, and it's because he's been overshadowed by other manga characters, for example Toshiro. But even still, I think this Renji is one of the better characters out there. He has a great kit. He doesn't inflict status ailments, but I feel like his strong attacks are just really clean, and they come across as just they're fast and good activation. And yeah, so A rank, and like I said, I feel like he's even a little underrated at this point. Next up, we've got ourselves Can't Figure Your Own World Neliel. This one was a little difficult to do. I was debating on putting her in B rank, but I feel like her kit and everything she's got in general is actually pretty cool. She is a different character to almost everyone in this list. She's just unique in her own right. And the thing is, like, she's actually not bad at all. I've been using her quite a bit, especially on this current IZ where she does get the killer, and she's actually been great for autoing. So because of that, I feel like she's a good unit. She's one of the better normal attack damage power units out there right now. So I had to put her in at A rank. And not only that, recently she actually had a guild quest where she was hitting about 181k. So you know, her normal attack string, not only is it great, but it actually helps out in guild quests because it's like almost having like double flash steps. So really cool, and I had to put her in at A rank. And last but not least, we're finally gonna get into the S rank. This one was a little difficult to go off of, but I felt like this is where I had to put them all at. I'm gonna go one by one on this one, and so let's go ahead and do this. First up, we've got our boy Kenpachi, the best power normal attack damage character in the game. He's just so good. You know, the combination of having the DR link, having flurry with poise and weakening, and then that second strong attack being a vortex, like a walking vortex. It's just so good. You know, he's the only character out there that you could confidently say tied with Retsu, if not better than Retsu. And just because of the weakening, man, this Kenpachi is just so good. And you know, if you have the right build, you have the right accessories, he could definitely take out Retsu's in PvP, which is something we've been wanting for a very long time. Next up, we've got our boy Aizen. This one had to be in here. I remember back when he first came out, a lot of people were, you know, he's not that great. Oh, Technique Aizen's better. Get the hell out of here. This Aizen is so good. He's just got a great kit, right? He has a first strong attack that can literally hit the whole map, which is just crazy. He has a second, which is a vortex strong attack that actually comes in really handy when it comes to guild quests. And then he has a third strong attack that I believe the fastest activation in the game, and it's just so good. So overall, he's got a great kit. He's 100% needed for Senkaimon. Floor 20 Aizen, obviously you've heard it out there. He's a character you need for floor 20 on Tower of Ordeal, so he's needed for that. And like I was saying, if you have a dupe of him and you keep him at level 1 as a 6-star with Frenzy unlocked, he actually can again do what Rukia does, which is in B rank, which is make a 180k guild quest score turn into a 182, 183k just because of him. Moving on, this is of course Manga Toshiro, as you guys all kind of expected. This Toshiro, it's just crazy. He's probably the longest like lasting character out of this whole list, just because he's been so good for so long. He came out about a year and a half to maybe even about 2 years now, and when he first came out, he was amazing, and even still today he is amazing. He's one of the best in the power attribute, just because of his activation speed on all his strong attacks. He freezes through everything. I will say there's, you know, over time he's kind of fallen behind a few of these, like for example Kenpachi and Aizen I believe are better, but even still he is better than the rest. You know, it's crazy because if you have this Toshiro, I mean, you realistically you don't need like you know, a lot of the A rank characters, a lot of the B rank or C ranks, you know. So it's like, it's just crazy to think that a character that's been in the game for so long is still just really good. And then of course, last but not least, this one might be a little weird for you guys to see, but we have to put him in here. Tag Team Ichigo. He's just such a great character. Just like Toshiro, he's been one of those characters that has lasted for a very long time just because K-Lab did him right. He's so good. He has a double killer that's one of the best in the game. Just deals a lot of damage, and you know that 20% extra additional damage goes a long way, right? He has one of the best kits in the game with, you know, a first being a lunge attack and then his second being a vortex, one of the biggest, you know, like it has one of the biggest radius as a vortex and it lasts forever. And then of course his third being a not a full screen but nearly a full screen, and it hits so many times. Just great character for PvE content. You know, if you take him on in, you know, extreme co-op, IZ, anything, right, he's gonna do a lot of damage. Again, that double killer comes in very handy. And not only that, don't even get me started when it comes to guild quests. He is one of the he's a must. You need this character for guild quests because he can build up that combo super easily. He's just insane. He's just a very good unit to have. And so yeah, if you have them, you'd know what I'm talking about. So all in all, guys, this is basically the ranking of it all. I know that some of them might not look as good to you, right? To you, this might seem kind of odd, right? Putting in, for example, maybe Demon Rukia in B rank and then putting Jushiro in A rank. Keep in mind, this is my opinion. Don't think this is official. This is just an opinion. If you guys did enjoy though, again, make sure to hit the like button. If we can get about like 200 to 300 likes on this, that will show me that you guys did enjoy this, and I'll go ahead and make a part 2, or, you know, I'll continue on with this. I do plan on doing like all the attributes, and then after I've done all the attributes, I'm thinking about doing like other ones where I just rank espadas or whatnot in the game of Bleach Brave Souls. So yeah, anyways, I feel like this is the new trend. This is the new top 10. I think it's just like I said, as you guys see, I was able to put in how many characters in here compared to the top 10, and I just get straight to the point. So I actually really like this. So again, if you did enjoy, hit the like button, and yeah, so expect all the other attributes to come out soon. So yeah, anyways, you guys take care. Peace.